This is a member of the Voice of Reason coming at you, and now I'm going to talk about the top 5 practical reasons why you really don't want to be caught up in video game addiction. I'm going to start from 5 to 1, and these are top 5 really good reasons why you really don't want to get caught up in video game addiction. Number 5, you can develop carpal tunnel. Carpal tunnel is a condition that develops pretty much develops in the fingers and bones of your wrists and your hands. Your fingers and your forearms deplete of any excess muscle due to lack of activity. Eventually, what happens is you would develop another form of arthritis, where your fingers are so brittle and so weak that you can't even pick up a toothpick. Or to do this takes a lot of work. Number 4. It's a girl. This is for the guys. It's a girl repellent. Your girlfriends will run from you. They'll tolerate it for a while. They'll be okay with it. But when video game addiction starts overruling your life and starts becoming an everyday thing for you, eventually they're going to get tired of it and they're going to leave. They want to see consistency. They want to see confidence. They want to have fun. They want your energy. They want your time. They want your attention. They want your attention. They want you to hold them, cuddle with them, have fun with them. That doesn't mean sitting in front of a TV or video game console. That means going on picnics, going out to the movies, doing actual, fun things that couples do. That requires actually not sitting in front of a game console. Number 3, loss of job and career and lack of opportunity. Rotting in front of a video game console can sit there and rob you of all these things because you're doing a whole lot of spending time in this whole fantasy world, and pretty much in the real world it kind of is very dismal. If you spend more time trying to make your everyday life as interesting as possible and being more cultured, then maybe you wouldn't need video games. Also, video games are supposed to be a simple child's toy. People need interaction. They don't need entertainment. And yes, and some entertainment's okay, but you have to join the human race. You have to sit there and you have to be practical. Number 2, it causes lethargy, laziness, and lack of consistency in your day-to-day life. A lot of people who suffer from video game addiction don't go to the doctors. They end up getting overweight or losing weight. They have serious health problems like diabetes, or pretty much they become emaciated. Sometimes their houses are messy. These are some practical reasons that video game addiction can ruin you. It sounds a lot similar to drug addiction, right, or alcoholism. Same thing, very lethal. In fact, in some ways, video game addiction is more dangerous than both of those, because your brain is not altered. Well, excuse me. You're not physically drunk or high or off of anything. Your judgment is way off and totally off whack. And before I mention the number 1 reason, I would like to ask you to click in the subscription button below and click on the little fire bell thingy. Because I love having more subscribers. The number 1 reason that you really don't want to become a video game addict is that it's considered a mental health issue on the mental health spectrum. And the cops and doctors and judges can hospitalize you against your will. Involuntary, the term I'm going to put on the bottom of the screen is called involuntary hospitalization. It is very possible for being a video game addict. Yes, that is a very true possibility. There's a number 1 reason why you don't want to be that. Because they could sit there and they'll stick you in the hospital for up to 4, 6, 8 months if possible. They'll stick you there as long as they have to deprogram your brain of electronics. Depending on how bad the problem is. If your video game collection is big, is so big it's filling up most of your house. Well, that's self-explanatory right there. That's the number 1 reason why you don't want to be a video game addict. So those are the top 5 reasons. please consider, doing anything. Nothing. Nobody. I mean, here's the thing. Here, for those of you who are suffering from these problems, bear in mind your family and loved ones do not want to see you rot in front of a video game console. Plus, you're not learning anything, and you're getting your friends more frustrated and pissed off at you. It's probably why they're not talking to you. This is A Member, the Voice of Reason. All whole.